Dude, this is quite honestly the most ambitious bullet journal I've ever filmed, by a long shot. Hi everybody, it is time for my 2021 bullet journal setup. I wanted to pop on here with my face forward after I actually filmed the damn thing to kind of give you an introduction to the video, mainly because I didn't realize quite how hard I was going to be falling down the rabbit hole when I filmed it. And then many hours later, I'll put the number of hours in the description box, the like original raw footage. I'm done with my setup, but it was pretty intense. I don't even know how long this video is going to be. I will be using the Baron Fig. This is the Plus journal. It's actually the light gray, but I bought the cover, the leather cover for it in the wine color as a Black Friday gift to myself. The plus size is 7 by 10 inches, which is quite a bit bigger than the A5 Leuchtturm that I have been using. But I wanted more space because I will be using this as my primary planner this year, which I have never done before, which is part of why this is such an ambitious bullet journal setup. I'll also link in the description the review I did of these Baron Fig journals. I want to quickly tell you the things I'm not going to be doing so you don't expect to see them. And I also intend on doing a video coming up soon as to why I'm not doing these things anymore, because it's a little bit more than I have time for in this video. But I will not be doing a future log. I will not be doing an index, and I will not be doing a key. I've never done a full year's theme in a bullet journal. Themes have never really been my thing. I've just picked like a color. So I'm kind of doing that to the next power in this video. I have a theme of colors picked out for the yearly setup, and I intend to do the same thing for every month. Instead of just picking a piece of washi tape and like one marker, I want to pick like an actual color scheme. The other thing I want to do is kind of incorporate flowers and plants and trees and so on and so forth. I love drawing from nature, and so this year I would also like to incorporate that, but again, that could change. I say these things now, give me 2 months. It's going to be totally different. For the yearly setup, the theme I'm going to go with is I'm just going to draw like a simple poppies. I talked about them in a recent doodling video. They're fun to draw. They're a California flower. I'm a California girl, so I just thought that that would be a really fun one. As for the color palette I'm using, the colors and the markers will be listed below. They are majority Tombow dual brush pens. However, there is a couple of Pitt artist brush pens and a Mildliner in there. And the palette that I developed with my patrons has a dark gray that I'm using in lieu of black. It works great when you write on top of it with a white gel pen. And then I'm using 2 pinks and 2 grays that are kind of in the cooler land of things. And then I have a blue, a golden yellow, and a burgundy red to use as pops of color that I plan to use only one of those pops of color per page or per spread. So I won't be using the blue and the golden yellow on every single page. I will be utilizing my Uniball Signo white gel pen in broad, which is my favorite white gel pen to use. It still skips, but it skips a little less than the Jelly Roll. And I will be using Pigma Microns in a variety of sizes, including the size 1 graphic liner and the brush pen. I also have a tracker stamp from a set of bullet journal stamps from the company Notebook Therapy and some Prima Chalk Edger black ink. I suck ass at stamping, so have fun watching. Now it's time to jump into the actual setup, pour one out for my tendinitis. The first thing I want to do, I was originally going to put a key on here. It occurred to me that me moving towards doing the bullshit I'm not going to use. One of the things that I have discovered in my time with bullet journaling, if I'm not going to use something and I know I'm not going to use it and I do it anyway, it's just a waste of fucking time and I don't want to do it. And I don't need to do a key because I'm not really hard set with the different situations, the different little things I use. I know what I'm doing. Like when I see something I've written, no matter what the symbols are, I can figure it out. So I don't really need one. But what I do want to put in here is my name because I love my name. And that's what I'm using a Sharpie for, because this first page of the Baron Fig is like a kind of a laminated almost feeling cardstock. It's not, it's got like a linen texture, but I would imagine that most markers would kind of bead up on it. I haven't tested that. I'm going to default to Sharpie because if I don't know what the surface will take, generally it will take a Sharpie. And I love Sharpies as much as I love my name, maybe more. So what I did was my initials and then my name underneath it because I don't know, maybe I'm a narcissist. And then I put January and I left a blank space because I have no idea how long this journal is going to last me. A lot of this is new territory for me. I have been bullet journaling, just bullet journal for the last like November and December. I still have not quite figured out exactly what's going to happen. And my current situation with my bullet journal is that I've been just trying to use this one up. I will be doing a flip through of this I don't believe it'll be up yet, though, by the time this video goes up. I'm doing a bunch of filming ahead of time. I don't know what the fuck's going on. This is going to be my 2021 page. I want to kind of keep it simple. I haven't really decided if I'm going to hang on to the same font or whatever. I know kind of what I want my theme to be. And by theme, I actually have no idea what I'm talking about because my themes tend to be like colors or like washi tape or some shit. And I've never really been like a super illustrative bullet journal person. I've thought about a bunch of the like logistics of it, but I haven't really thought about like any of the creative aspects of it. So here goes nothing. Am I right? Oh boy. Here's the real moment of truth. I want to do block letters of 2021 right here, but I want to just do them straight and have the poppy be like in front of them, but I'm not going to pencil them in. Problem I'll run into is if I get the size wrong. My 0 is a little thinner than my 2, which I can fix with shadowing. You see how I sort of went inside of the 2 to kind of thin it out a little bit? I'm going to do the same thing here. It's just a way to kind of make the width sort of match, because one of the things that makes like block letters look a little bit janky is when they're not like all the same like evenness. Does that make sense? So doing a little bit of trimming on the numbers, and like see this one I'm gonna have to even out a little bit because the 2 looks a little funk, but like evening them out when you use a shadow, especially if your drop shadow is going to be like colored in, you can generally thin things out. Now you can't really fatten things up to fix it, so that's something to be wary of. Like err on the side of too chunky rather than too thin. Does that make sense? I say does that make sense a lot, you know? I love how this looks, but I swear I even posted to Instagram stories while I was doing it that I feel like I may have bitten off more than I can chew with this setup, and I'm only on the first real page of it. Aw, shit. Okay, so we're on to the next spread. We're moving forward. And this spread, I feel like, hold please. Before I do, I feel like I should add a little bit of markers, because that was my whole point, was to have some of these colors on every page. So I'm just adding a little bit of the grays to the poppy, and then I'll add a little bit of the pink to the drop shadow. There we go. Just a little bit of pink and a little bit of gray, so it's the same colors, just subtle. It's my word of the day, is subtle. Probably not going to be my word of the day for very long, though. These 2 pages. So I yoinked my post-it notes. This page is going to be a quote page. Now, if you followed me for any length of time, you know that quotes are not generally my jam. However, there's a quote that has been in my head, and if you watch my Power Sheets video, I think I mentioned it there. I'll link it up above if you haven't watched it yet. I've been talking about it for a while, so I really love the podcast You're Wrong About, and one of the hosts, Sarah Marshall, said about Diana, Princess of Wales during their it was in their last episode of their 5-part series. They were talking about her being a hot mess. Like, she did a lot of great things, but she also was kind of a hot mess. Like, I didn't know until listening to that podcast that she pushed her stepmom down the stairs. But something that Sarah, the host, said in the podcast was, you can be a hot mess express and still leave the world better than you found it. And I resonated with that so goddamn hard. So I am going to put that quote at the beginning of my planner. I feel like I need to take my cover off. Yeah, this is going to fuck me up. I don't want to take my cover off, though. It was kind of a pain to put on. Maybe I just need to put, like, something hard underneath here. I'm going to need it when I stamp anyway. You guys, I thought I was so prepared for this video, and I am proving that that is not the case. This notebook is fucking, like, chipboard. So I think maybe putting the cover underneath here, yeah, that gives it a nice smooth flat surface to work with. I think it might help with the stamping too. I'm learning all sorts of things with this bullet journal, peeps. Okay, that's already not centered and I'm kind of bummed out, but maybe what I can do is add some flowers or something like up the side. I'm not worried about it now. I'm gonna fucking make it up as I go along. Come on, Cindy. You say you're a professional letterer, and this is how your X look. I mean, to be fair, X is kind of a garbage letter when it comes to block lettering or any lettering. We're going to clean this up with some white gel pen, I think. That's a bit jank. There we go. Much better. Nothing that a little white gel pen and some sadness can cure. Want to add a little bit of the color to it. Maybe what I'll do is I'll take the lightest gray and kind of go around the flower. I'm going to do the same on this situation here. And I want to add some more pink. That is a good deal. So I have been filming for like 85 years now, and I have gotten 2 pages done. This is why I don't do quotes and shit. Because normally I can just be like, and be done. I'm going to stop bitching about it though, because I made these choices. On this page, what I want to put is my word of the year, which I figured out with my power sheet. It is the word care, because I want to care for myself and care for the work I do, care for my community, care for all sorts of things. And I don't even think I'm going to put a flower on it. I might just do the word. Instead of the definition, I decided to incorporate the dark gray with the white on top and a little bit more pink, because I realized my setup was leaning heavily into the black and white, which I love the look of, but I promised myself I would use more color, like color palettes. I love color, but I have always gravitated towards like one color plus black and white in my bullet journal versus all the color I put in my planner. And if using just the bullet journal this year is going to work for me, I need to use more color in it. So I added the extra pink, the dark gray, and then I used a tiny bit of the blue in the poppy and on the word, just for the tiny bit of pop. I didn't want to add too much because I really like how this looks already, but just that little bit of blue is enough to kind of tie in the color palette. So I'm gonna let this dry, and then we'll move on to a couple of much more utilitarian spreads. We're gonna move away from the aesthetic and into the utility. Piece of deli paper in between to protect everything. I'm not used to laying this much marker down in a bullet journal. There's definitely like the used feel on the paper, which I love, but it's not bleed throughing even where I use the marker. It's just shadowing, which is what I was hoping for with this paper. This next spread is a reference spread for the rest of the bullet journal. I'm going to be doing a grid situation. I'm going to be doing a grid spacing spread from what my subscribers had told me. It was originally done by Pacific Notation on Instagram. I first learned about it from Amanda Rach Lee, and the person who did it, where I really kind of understood the way they were doing it, was a YouTuber named Riley Autumn, who does bullet journals for sale. I've got at least one other spread in this that was inspired by her. I will make sure to leave all of this linked. It's going to be a lot of links. The description is going to be a linkgasm. Point of a grid spread is to give you some references for when it comes to dividing your pages up, especially considering that this is a bigger size than what I'm used to. So you start by numbering a page on your bullet journal both down, like both horizontally and vertically. Then you divide the page into different amounts, writing down the number of squares. I'm going to be dividing both horizontally and vertically, half of the page, a third of the page, and a quarter of the page. And I'm going to be doing it 2 ways. One way where each half just divides it exactly in half, and the other one with a spacing of a single square on either side of each section, because I use both of those in my bullet journal. And I'm going to use the same color marker for each size. It's going to be a total of 6 different colors here, one for all of the 1/2, all of the 1/3, all of the 1/4, and then all of the 1/2 with the buffer, so on and so forth. I added like a divider for the half of the page because I'll be able to really catch that when I when I refer back to it. Alrighty, here's my grid spacing. I like how it came out. I think it'll be helpful. The blues I used on this page were not the actual blue because I didn't want to use a brush tip to draw those, so I grabbed some Tombows that were in the same kind of family as that blue. The next thing that I'm doing is going to be a stamping situation, and I am mildly stressed out about it. So basically, I want to divide this page into quarters because I'm going to be doing this for the 2020 calendar, but I also want to have a spot for 2020 across the top. All of this grid spacing I just did doesn't actually matter for this one. I'm going to be stamping the little calendar down for every single month, because I'm not going to draw every single month, but I am going to write in the numbers, so that's going to be a bit of a pain. So each calendar is 7 squares high, so doing 4 rows of 10 will be plenty of room for the calendars, as well as writing the months in up above them. This might be the way to do it, to line up the stamp with the ruler. That might be the way. So where does a pencil? I am busting a pencil out. Who fucking knew? This is just a bullet journal setup of surprises, guys. This is why people pencil them in ahead of time, because then they save time when they're setting it up on camera. So I want to count out 8 spaces from the top to get it down to 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to go 9 because I'm going to bring 1 up here. And so this middle section is 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait a minute. Did I count wrong? Motherfucker. It was not 9 because I gave me 10 squares total. It was 7 up here and 1 down here for 8 to bring it down to 40. Yeah, okay, I got this. I can count. Okay, so I've got these lined up here, and so what I am going to do then is to divide it into thirds. I just did that. It's 9.5. No, wait, that's with the space in between. Without the space, it's 11. And the only reason this is kind of a pain in my ass is because these stamps are not super easy to line up. All right, let's get this done. Stamping. Engage. Oh, wait, I want to put the little thing underneath too. Shit, I just inked it up. The stamping thing that'll make the hardness that makes it better. That's some sexual tension right there. The hardness that makes it better. We'll get this guy under here and we'll lay down a situation. Dear God. Okay. Fuck. Oh, you know what? I don't care. We're gonna let this one stand. It's okay. You know what? You know what? We're gonna clean this fucker up. We're gonna make this pretty. I'm gonna run you right up the side to clean up this bullshit. I'm only using this page for reference, so if it looks like hot garbo, then I'm not looking at it very often. I'm not gonna replace the page. I'm not gonna tear a page out. Fuck all that noise. I am just gonna use my skinny Pigma Micron. I'm gonna draw in the lines. Look at that, it's beautiful. Nobody's gonna be able to tell. Fuck my life. I think I'm gonna screw the ruler at this point though. I think the ruler is screwing me more than I'm screwing it. And I don't wanna live that lifestyle. So let's try this again. Sans ruler. Let's just, ha! It's the ruler that fucked me up. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. I have to use this stamp so many more times in the planned upcoming spreads. I need to get better at it. So fuck it. I'm going to make a note in here. I conquered my fear of stamping, which is not the case. I have not conquered it, but I am facing it. Into the crevasse we go. I'm holding it tightly. I'm holding it like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop, yo? I don't know. Turn off the lights and we'll go. Am I rocking the mic like a vandal and lighting up the stage like a chump to a candle? Yes, I am. Whew. Okay, we got through it. There are 12 little calendars here, which is what the goal was when I started out. I need like one of those sham wows for my stamps. Let's get you out of the way, little notebook, until I call you back into your office. From the camera, it's looking half-ass okay. Half-ass okay. So where's my dark gray? I'm going to put a little bit of that up above for each month. Hot Mess Express. I'm going to do like a side bubble over here. The blue will be the accent here. I want to put some flowers down here also. I cannot help myself. I'm going to add some poppies while this just a few poppies real quick while this dries so I don't get black handprints all over this because that tends to be my fucking habit. All right, everything should be dry over here. All right, now let's hope I don't fuck this up. I'm gonna look at the Google Calendar for 2021. Okay, that one's really hard to read. I think I'll likely not be looking at this for reference when I do my January bullet journal setup. A million years later, I did this. I do not plan on writing numbers in any more of the stamps like this that I use. It was just this one. Every other one, I plan on using dots or coloring them in for like habit trackers, but fuck, dude, tendinitis. But this looks good, you guys. This is so aesthetic. I spent so much time on this. This is gonna be the longest fucking video of all time. I love the little poppies I drew here. I did the pink instead of the gray just because I forgot to use the gray, but I figure it's all the same color scheme, so why the fuck not? I'm just gonna use my kneaded eraser, kneaded, to just pick up. It's not really working and it's making it smeary, so fuck that. We're gonna go to a not so kneaded eraser. We're gonna go to a rubber eraser and just erase some of this pencil. I don't think I can erase the ones I drew on top of. My bad. Oh, I don't really give that much of a shit though. It's okay. Moving forward to another spread. Fuck, it's time for the Dutch door. I might need to take a break before I do this. This might be one of the most ambitious spreads of this entire situation. It's going to be a full-blown situation. How many times can I say situation? Saving that because I actually did some counting ahead of time. Woohoo! I'm going to cut this in half as a Dutch door. I'm not going to be doing anything where I'm like making it look like hella aesthetic on one side versus like when you have this covering it up and it like looks like one picture and then you open it, it looks like, I'm not going to do that. The reason I'm doing it as a Dutch door is because I want 2 full pages for the trackers I'm going to put in here, but I want the center to carry on one side my 2021 goals and on the other side my 21 in 21. My 21 in 2021 list. And then the trackers on these 2 pages are not going, I'm not doing all of the 21 in 2021 in this situation because not all of them really require trackers, but there are a handful of them that will require trackers or that I could use trackers for. If you want to watch the videos on my 2021 goals or my 21 in 2021, which I cannot fucking say, those will be linked in the description below. I was going to use a paper knife, but that just seems a little too dangerous for how out of it I am becoming from this never-ending goddamn journal setup. I hope you all appreciate the lengths I go for the aesthetic. I feel like I need to have like the chariots of fire, or not chariots of fire. What the hell is it? Dun 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 dun. Meow 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 meow. Is that chariots of fire? I don't remember. That is not exactly right, but fucking, do I really give that much of a shit? No, I don't. So the tracker's on this side. It's going to be a year-long tracker, which is not all the year. It's going to be the 100 books that I want to read in 2021. Fuck. And then down here, it's going to be 3 vertical trackers that will be weekly, 52 squares inside each one to mark, oh hi Mark, 3 of my weekly 21 and 20. God, do I have to fucking say that? You know what I'm talking about. It'll be my call my family once a week, make art once a week, and memory keep once a week. And so all of those trackers will be on this page. I think I'm going to do a doodle there, but I'm going to wait on it for a hot minute because I want to see how everything fits on the other side. And while I'm at it, I'm going to now put my goals for the year in. I almost wrote 2020. That would have sucked. I guess it wouldn't have too bad because then I could have just used this next page, but whatever. Alrighty. I like how this goals little flap turned out. Very, very cute. I'm gonna let this dry and then do the other side. So I guess maybe I will put some doodles here while I'm letting it dry. In 2021. 21 and 20. I can't even fucking talk. Trackers on this page are going to be for my monthly adventures, my monthly skills I want my kids to learn, like adulting skills, finding new creators every month, and my creative dates with myself, which is also monthly. And I want to be able to write down when they happened or where they happened or whatever the case may be. So these are not going to be just like check off trackers like this side. These are like check off on fucking Star Trek. These are going to be trackers that I utilize for actual information. Alrighty, now we have 2 doodly pages. See, I'm not like trying to make it like that kind of sexy Dutch door. I didn't need a full page for my goals and my 20 and 21, and I wanted to be able to kind of see all the trackers at once while still having these to reference. This is enjoyable. Moving forward, we have 2 more full spreads to get through. So this is kind of in line with the goals. One of them is Year of Healthy Challenges. That is on my 21 and 2021, and it is also really relevant to both of my health related goals, my physical health and my mental health. I got this idea from the YouTuber I had mentioned before, Riley Autumn, the one who does the bullet journals for people who sells them. This was something that she did in a bullet journal for somebody else. It was a year of trackers with a space with each tracker to write in what the healthy habit is. It's basically going to be this all over again, except it's going to have a slightly different look to it. The square I'm going to draw is going to be 10 by 10. The calendar at the top, underneath, have a spot for the challenge, and then down the side, say the month. Now we're going to do 10 down, 9 across. We're going to try a different hard situation. We're going to try this tracing paper thing. Maybe this will be easier for me to handle. I know people have suggested like a pencil board or whatever. Does anybody have suggestions? Let me know in the comments of where to get something like that to stiffen for stamping, so I don't want to like kick somebody's ass every month when I stamp. A cutting mat actually would be good because that might help when I do a Dutch door, which apparently I'm just so fucking fancy now that I'm doing more than once. I'm going to do this. Part of the reason I drew these is because I want to do this up in the top corner to give me one side for the month and one side for the healthy habit. Still not straight. I'm getting there, you guys. I will figure this shit out. But it's not like I have to look at this for the entire fucking year. What I might do is kind of color the whole box. I have an idea. We'll come back to this. I mean, we won't come back to this, but I'll just keep doing it and then you'll see. That's how it all works, right? Still filming for probably another hour. So I filled it in with the alternating shades of pink and then blocked the days of the month that are not in the month. Like when the month, like January 1st is a Friday. I blocked those in with the burgundy from the color theme. Left a spot here at the bottom to write in what the challenge is. And notice there were a couple of months where the extra day lapped over and I just drew a couple of janky little boxes. But it's cool, man. Janky boxes or no. So then this spread is one that I am actually most excited about. Not because I like cleaning, but because I find it to be something that's going to be helpful for me. A cleaning spread talking about how often you should clean everything. So my plan for this spread is that I will have the daily and the weekly things just here for reference. But then for the monthly, the 3 to 6 month period and the yearly period, I actually will have spots to write in when it gets done so that we have an idea of when things are happening. The list I'm going off of comes from Mental Floss. They have an infographic from Good Housekeeping, so I guess it's actually from Good Housekeeping. And I just modified it slightly to add in a few things that are like in our house that are not on the list. This is all in my quest to be a better grown-up this year. We'll see how that goes. So this first small box is for daily cleaning tasks. The bigger box next to it is for monthly, and both of those are not actually trackers. They're just there for informational purposes to remind me to not be nasty. I think I might write that at the top too. Don't be nasty. And then this box is for monthly tasks, and it'll just have the months, so I can just check off each box when it gets done each month. This is one big box. You probably thought I fucked this up. I didn't actually, because these are every 3-month tasks, and these are going to be every 6-month tasks, but they're all going to have things, and I'll just have blacked out the boxes that aren't necessary for 6 months. And then this one is for yearly tasks, and I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do with that yet. I'd love to know your odds in the comments below of me actually maintaining these trackers. I am spending a lot of time on them. I better fucking maintain them. Young Nasty Man. From what band did the Young Nasty Man rise? His partner, Wonder Boy. Wonder Boy, what is the secret of your power? If you haven't gotten it by now, then you really, really need to make some acquaintance with the D. So I use the pink marker to just alternate colors because I will be either using a dot to indicate that it's done in the monthly tracker, or I will be writing the date or the month or something, the 3 months and the 6 months. And I fucked up. It is a 3-month task. I think I would lose it if I had to super clean the fridge out every month. And I guess I could do that, but I'm lazy. Which is why this whole spread is necessary in the fucking first place. Fucked up again. I already had this on there. Dumb in a vacuum because I'm already vacuuming every week. I've gotten this far with a whole bunch of fuck ups, but that's okay because I fuck up all the time. Now for the yearly, I have 6 tasks that are going to be going in here. I want to write down when they're done and like what they are and when they were done. So I need to have 6 spots. I probably will get someone to clean my fireplace and chimney because I am not a chimney sweep and you will not have good luck from shaking my hand. Whew, this is a very adulting kind of spread. So it's kind of interesting. I spent the first couple of pages, which are mostly just reference pages, I used the blue for the pop of color, and then all of the goal related pages, these guys, all the trackers and goal related pages, I used the burgundy. So that means that I have one more spread left, and this is content related, and it's actually going to be a pretty simple couple of spreads because I'm mostly just making space. I'm going to use the mustard. To do those ones. So these 2 spreads are basically going to be boxes. I'm going to create a master ideas list, which is basically just going to have like decoration and a big empty space to collect all my YouTube ideas. I might divide it up into content buckets, but that's actually something I'm going to be working on. So I'm not ready to do that yet. And then over here, I want to give myself kind of 2/3 of the page for YouTube analytics for 2020, like to look back at the year and just to get some of the findings. I'll be doing most of that online, but I will probably put the most important takeaways here. And then underneath it will be a smaller area for podcast ideas because I don't need quite so many as I need for YouTube. These were so much easier to make. So let's go back and recap all of the stuff I've done. So we start here with the nameplate, a simpler time, many, many hours ago. I'm telling you, I have never spent this long on a yearly bullet journal. Like not even close. I think I've spent maybe 3 or 4 times as many hours as I usually do. So hopefully this is worth it. I will put the hours I spent, the raw footage, in the description below. Cover page, again, a simpler time. This took forever and I was like, this will be the longest time it takes. No. And then we have my quote page and my word of the year. I'm so glad I decided not to write the definition here because that would have just added more tendinitis. And then we have my reference pages. We have my grid spacing page, which I might go and add some more to. I have to decide what else is going to be like useful for me. And then this is my year at a glance, 2021 goals, and my 21 and 2021 list. And then I have the trackers for the 21 and 2021, at least some of them. And I'll be checking them off of here for the ones that are just doing one thing, like write a will. For the regular goal setting stuff, that's in my power sheets. I think out of all the spreads, I really love this one because this one is so useful, but like specific. But then this one feels like epic information of all my cleaning, my Don't Be Nasty spread, and my year of healthy habits, which when I do my January bullet journal setup, or potentially my power sheets, one of my January setups, I'll know what I'm doing for January. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe. And then finally, my YouTube analytics spread, where I'm basically just going to be putting down takeaways when I sit down and do my 2020 YouTube analytics, podcast ideas, and then YouTube ideas, which I may divide into content buckets after I've done some thinking. And then there's some post-its for my January setup, which I'm not doing today because my hand is going to fall off. So this is my bullet journal spread. Let me know what you think. Is there anything in here that you're thinking of doing? If you are a longtime viewer What are the odds that I'm actually going to use all of these trackers? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about something you're doing in your bullet journal this year that you or your planners, if you don't bullet journal, haven't done before or that you're excited about. Or something you have done that you're excited, something you're excited about. Let's just be excited. I'm excited that I'm done filming this video. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Wash your hands, wear a mask, socially distance, do all those good things so that 2021 is a better year than 2020. And until next time, peace.